LNTEOW, labor and the expression of worth. Together, we are discovering our common work, common stories, and common love. When I was 15 years old, my dad brought 3 daily Oklahoman paper routes into our home as a family project. 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We began in November, just as it was getting really cold. On Sunday mornings, the work started at 2:30 a.m. The paper consisted of 3 different parts, 3 small mountains of newsprint. When we first began, the truck delivered the papers directly to our home. Every morning, that big delivery truck chugged around the corner, air brakes hissing it to a stop. We were the family sometimes screaming and hissing at one another. In the summer, we left the garage door open for all the neighbors to hear. At one point, the paper stopped delivering to our home, and we had to go pick them up at the 7-Eleven every morning. On Sunday mornings, that pickup bed was piled high, and the king cab and the passenger seat was full too. Sleep deprivation was a very real part of our lives. I remember falling asleep in geometry class when I was a sophomore and in English class when I was a senior. My dad was just trying to make ends meet. I have such compassion for that man now. Like me, he had a lot of different jobs. When he was a kid, his dad loaned him out to a local farmer for the summer. He pumped gas. He was in the Air Force, loading bombs on fighter jets and later operating the boom on a KC-135 refueler. He ran my grandpa's glass shop for a little while. He sold insurance for several different companies. He sold encyclopedias, world books. He sold cars. He sold pest control. And then he brought those paper routes into our home for all of us to deal with. It was serious business. He went away for some Air Force training when I was 19. I was living at home and going to college, studying music. When he went away to his Air Force training, the paper route was my responsibility. When he came home from his boom operator school, my mother was gone. She left him, and I was there throwing the papers. He went crazy with grief. And we were there together in the mornings, folding those papers. He looked at me one morning and he said, You are the reason she left me. He was so hurt, red-eyed and mad with betrayal. His fingers clenched and trembled as he resisted the urge to grab me and crush me. But he didn't grab me. My dad's dad hurt him physically, but my dad never punched me or kicked me like his dad did to him. He just screamed at me until I cried. He could make me cry like that just by screaming at me even after I was an adult. But he didn't ever hit me, and I am grateful for that. I have to be. I get to be grateful for that. He did what he could to make things better for me and my brother. Just like me, he vowed to be a better dad than his dad was, which is pretty much exactly what I did. I tried to be a better father than my dad was. But vows have a way of failing us, or rather, we have a way of failing vows. Our inherited behavior has a way of sneaking up on us. As much as I tried to squash down all that anger, it erupted one night on my family. Hurt people hurt people. It's not enough to say that I did the best that I could, but I am glad that I can say that. I think that my dad can probably say the same thing. When my anger finally erupted in my home, I made a confession to one of my wife's friends, and then I started going to a therapist. I did a lot of talk therapy. I've already written a lot about that in a number of videos. They're available online in my archive. They are confessions. They are cautionary tales. I'm doing my best to take responsibility for these generational curses, this inherited hurt, these epigenetic traumas. It was this devastation that brought me to God when I was 22 years old. It is my hope in God that sustains me still today. I'm sorry for any wrong behavior that might have hurt you. Today, I am living my amends. That's all I know to do. I thought that I could tune in to my wife's needs. I thought that if I was a sensitive and caring man, that I could fix it. I missed the mark. I overcorrected, perhaps. I gave away my power. And I have made quite a few videos already describing what that was like too. But I'm still doing these repetitions. Each time I write about it, every time I reapproach, I can talk about it all with some more perspective. I am not alone. Thank God, we are not alone. I have been working with men, and my story means something to them sometimes. I talk about the mistakes I made. This is a generational thing. We are all in this together. All the grandfathers, all the dads, all the kids, all the grandmothers and mothers, the ancestors, the descendants. We are all working together. I can see that now. God is with us. Love never fails. There is hope. Labor and the expression of worth. Together, we are discovering our common work, our common stories, and our common love. May the Lord bless you and keep you, cause his face to shine upon you, be gracious to you, and give you peace.